All right, everybody, we're back for the final game of the day. If you did not catch that last game, you missed out. You got to go check out the VOD. You got to make sure that you're checking it out, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's here on the Twitch channel, something, because, man, this was a crazy game. I just made some tea. It's about 50% honey, 50% water. So, Cubby, I'm just going to let you talk for a while while I start sipping this recovery juice.
You know what's crazy? When the replays start at 25-minute mark. That's when you know that we had ourselves a hell of a game one. And it was good plays across the rift from a lot of the players. I think the honorable mentions, they have to go to Ryoma for that TP to save the game. And a lot of game-saving scatter of the weeks at the base defense, as we'll be getting the rest of the replays up real quick. But this is a game that, when it mattered most, it felt like in the end, like it was. I mean, it was a bar fight, to be real. But in the end, 100 Thieves, a lot of playoff implications in the line. That win does lock them into a top 3 seed, and a very important win at that for the seeding of the rest of the Academy regular season as we do move into the Academy playoffs.
Yeah,
and EG still need to lock in a win to ensure their spot in the Academy playoffs is guaranteed as well.
I mean, yeah, technically, if they lose this next game, and they lose their match 0-2 tomorrow, taking a quick look at the schedule, they will be up against FlyQuest. There is a world where they actually don't make playoffs, because currently Immortals and TSM are both tied for that 6th place spot at 17-17 records. EG are currently at 18-15 now, so that would put them at 18-18. All it takes is Immortals and TSM to both pick up a couple more wins. And I mean, honestly, it's not the least likely scenario, but yeah, this base defense here, man.
I love how we're just talking over playoff scenarios off of this base defense, because it's not even the craziest thing that happened in this game, as the fights just continued. And I called it a bar fight. I don't want to lean on that phrase too much, but that's really what it felt like between these two teams, because EG in the end, they couldn't wrap up the game. They could not get a game-defining, game-winning team fight to put themselves over the edge, as Tony Top tries to go for the backdoor here, but gets chased down by 3. Tenacity did trade out Team Nuke, and I think trading out Team Nuke is something that was very important for 100 Thieves in that game, and something that throughout the game they did very well was focusing that Varus and making sure that Team Nuke was going down to the Kenvi, Tenacity, Bash brothers in the backline.
Yeah, man, that game, the back and forth, the Jojo Pion carry that we didn't even see. I don't even think we showed the replay of the Baron steal that happened. There were too many moments.
Man.
You could just make a highlight reel from that game alone. And throughout the whole game, you would assume Evil Geniuses were going to win that one. They were going to close it out. They were so close. They literally, 100 Thieves were on Dragon Soul Point for 23 minutes the entire game. And the Geniuses just still fought it back, man. Those are the kinds of games that get my heart racing and make me love being a Shackcaster for League of Legends. So I'm hoping we get a treat. I hope that it's just a run bag, similar style. But if we're trying to think critically, if we're trying to actually approach this with an analytical mind and less of a fan mind, as I like to call it, for a play-by-play standpoint, let's hear from the Colorcaster, Cubby. Let's talk it through from both teams' perspectives, starting with Evil Geniuses. They were so close. They were right at the precipice. First off, how did they not get that win? And second of all, what do you think they could potentially look at to change going into Game 2?
I mean, the way they set up that game, I think one of the real defining moments of the game was EG giving that 3rd dragon for free, because in that call, they got Jojo Pion a solo turret, and then in the next 5 minutes, they got him 2 other solo turrets, which got him that early death cap. Not the most efficient second item, but once you hit it, you are very powerful. And Jojo Pion made amazing use of that throughout the game, and it was just dragging EG back into that one, and almost across the finish line in the end. But I think it's a bar fight, and sometimes in those fights things get hectic. Things can get lost in translation. There were a couple calls where EG were split between going for the Nexus, going for members, which members they were on. Sometimes Mystiques wasn't always covering for Team Nuke when he didn't have Flash, something that 100 Thieves did a good job of getting out of the marksman of EG and also punishing afterwards. And I mean, it's a close game on both sides. So coming out of that one, especially kind of putting on my coaching cap, it's kind of important to make sure that everyone gets up, takes a stretch, takes a walk, take a couple minutes. Maybe you talk about some of the things you want to change going into the next game, and a few things that might have not went your way early, and that early jungle path. But I mean, after the 30-minute mark, you don't really talk about that in the post game. That's something that you save for tomorrow, for your off days. Something like, all right, we're going to go over some of the big decisions that were made later in the game. It's just a mental reset, kind of pick up the pieces from there, and hope to bring yourself together as EG, because in these standings, EG came into the day sitting in 5th because C9 went 0-2. They're now sitting in 4th. But EG, they need to pick up a win to put 2 games between them and Immortals and TSM to somewhat guarantee the fact that they will not be dropping down into the Proving Ground circuit in playing in UGP against some of the amateur teams that are still trying to qualify for Proving Grounds in the end.
And again, their match against FlyQuest Academy tomorrow. Even though we saw, I think, a weaker version of FlyQuest today, that was their practice run. Now tomorrow, theoretically, they have a couple games under their belt on cast, on stream, so they should be looking a little bit better. So not the easiest opponent for Evil Geniuses to go up against tomorrow. A win here would feel incredible. I mean, hearts out to the players that you have to go against literally number 1 and 2 teams for your final week here in Academy regular season, but sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. And I'll talk about it from... Oh, you got a point?
I mean, you know, TL's sitting top 2 right now, tied up
True.
with Thieves. And this 1-2 seed, you get a bye, so 100 Thieves are still playing for quite a bit here as well. So a win here this game, even though it's the last game that we have of the second to last day of Academy, a lot of ramifications around it for both of these teams. So let's see who can bring themselves together, get that mental reset back from both teams. 100 Thieves, I mean, that's whenever you play a game that's like over 40 minutes, it's just exhausting. Like, it's just like, take a breath, take a walk, or like get water, use the bathroom, reset, go from there.
I had to go step out into the sunshine for a couple minutes just to kind of recenter myself after the last one. I realized my heart's beating a little too fast. Let's come back to reality here before we go crazy in this next game. But might I remind you, Cubby, Geniuses go 1-1 against everybody. I mean, looking at the records so far across the entire split, 4-10-2. Now it's going to be either 4-11-2 or 4-10-3. Either way, they have a reputation of having the most head-to-heads against any team in the league so far. So, I mean, chances are looking pretty good that they are going to be Team Liquid's best friends here. If they get this win, that means that we have a tie going into the final day, and that's going to be really close between Team Liquid and 100 Thieves. Both of them absolutely looking for that. And at that point, it would come down to things like head-to-head, things like rather than game record, but instead match record, who has more best of series. And currently that is actually Team Liquid Academy with 8 2-0s compared to 100 Thieves' 6 2-0s. So, hey, a 2-0 here from 100 Thieves stops that conversation from even happening. So they got to be trying their absolute best. So with that in mind, Cubby, I do want to ask, because we've covered it from the Evil Geniuses side, kind of what went wrong, what they can look to change potentially. 100 Thieves, what a heart from this team to stay in that game the entire time, especially Ryoma on this Syndra, Luger on this Ezreal, these 2 key carries keeping them in the game. What do we expect to see out of them going into game number 2? I know it's tough when it's those long kinds of games, but are there any adaptations that you're starting to look at here?
I'm kind of curious what happens, like, depending on if these guys swap sides, if that's going to change things here. As we have not gotten word on that. We are waiting to get into the pick fan hopefully soon, but obviously that was a hell of a first game. So not exactly sure what's going on with the teams. We're going to hope to get the second game started up rather quickly. But I think that depending on the sides, getting Tony top counterpick didn't really work there for EG, and I think a part of it was that Tenacity had that Aurelia, and that 100 Thieves were really good at playing around the Aurelia, playing around Tenacity in the top lane. And Tony Top was sacking a lot of the side lanes to maintain mid-prio and make sure that LeBlanc was getting those items instead. So if they go for that style again, I want to see a little bit more help given the Tony Top. If you're going to take a matchup that volatile, you want to support it as a team. I think that EG were dropping a lot of the resources for Tony to help JoJo, who is a big carry for this team historically, but dropped a little bit too many that allowed Tenacity to really survive in some of those fights. And he was imperative in trading out for Team Luke, as I mentioned earlier.
And now I'm starting to think that 100 Thieves might need to be looking at that LeBlanc ban. Either pick it for themselves or ban it away. They opt to ban it. I like this adaptation. If you're going to do anything from the Thieves, this was the issue in that game. The primary issue, as you just highlighted, getting funneled. So let's see what Jojo Pion wants to default to, because we do have the same sides. It's still 100 Thieves on the blue side, Evil Geniuses Academy on the red. So they do get counterpicked. Do they want to give that to Tony Top again or Jojo Pion this time around? We'll see.
B1
Is the final ban coming in as Thresh?
Yeah, it could very easily be a B1 Syndra yet again, but 100 Thieves maybe thinking differently, flashing a few extra champions here, as they are going to actually deny the Varus and take that for Luger.
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to say it. Team Luke didn't look terrible on the Varus, but really was not the deciding factor in that game. It was more of just follow-up damage, but by the end of the game, Varus had fallen off. We saw that those arrows were not doing that much damage. So I think 100 Thieves Academy saying, all right, let's show Team Luke how to play this champion. Let's lock this in for Luger, because we know that Luger will try and hard punish on this, but Evil Genius is sticking with the Viego. Now, Contracts piloted this last time. I actually liked his look. I thought the Contracts looked pretty good in that game, had a lot of cool outplays, but still, I guess teams have been willing to flex it still, even despite the nerfs to lane.
There are very few games where Contracts doesn't look good. I think that he is the strongest player that we have in Academy at the moment. Debatably up there with maybe Jenkins, who is now playing again for TL. But EG seems like they're going with a little bit of a different variety, but a similar response in terms of champion archetypes. They're going to take the flip side of the Ezreal Varus matchup and still lock in that Viego to maintain the flex. I'm expecting 100 Thieves, so they have the option to grab their support now. It could get countered by EG, but if they want to power pick a Nautilus, that is an option, and I expect them to blind their jungle as well, as we're going to have to see what Kenvi chooses here. And it's going to be something for 100 Thieves that's a little bit more powerful for them, as this is a flex for Tenacity.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Kenvi could pilot it, but Tenacity loves the Volibear pick as well. So, not showing all their cards yet, and they also get that Syndra. The Syndra plus the Varus, I actually love this combo. Either one can set up the other to then follow up with their burst damage. You put them both together, that pretty much blows up anybody in the game, especially squishy members like this Viego, like this Ezreal. What does Evil Geniuses want to answer into that? Well, they could pick their mid laner right now since they see that it's a Syndra, but opting for the Kennen.
I like the Renekton hover. There was a tweet earlier in the season from Peter Dunn saying, why is it every time I tune into Academy, Tenacity is just solo killing a Renekton as Volibear? So I think EG paying a little bit of respect to Tenacity, who really likes that matchup. But going to be a Kennen who, I missed this note. Jenkins, of course, played at both games and mentioned it in the post-game interview, but he did see some buffs on this patch. And it feels that EG, Tony Top, opting for this Kennen, something that he can play a little bit of safety. You're going to take away two of the counters that Tenacity may like into that pick, and kind of call the bluff of 100 Thieves, saying that, hey, you can't send that Volibear top anymore. We're going to make sure it's in the hands of Kenvi and play out the draft from there. Exactly,
and the fact that they can take away this Aurelia that Tenacity just popped off on, I wouldn't be too surprised. Maybe even something like a J-Span as well. 100 Thieves Academy, meanwhile, targeting those mid laners that they don't want to deal with. Yeah, I think Silas is a good choice here. Jojopian loves that pick, and also very good with Syndra ultimates with the Varus ultimate to take away. So let's see if Evil Geniuses keep the top lane bans rolling in here, because Nautilus is still a pretty big champion that they got to be afraid of. Either pick it for themselves or just give it over to 100 Thieves. Might be worth a ban too.
Decisions being made here as both teams in the late round of the pick ban. We'll get word if that's a no ban or if it's something else. Is EG looking to put together the rest of their comp? I think that it's going to be a mid lane response or a jungler from EG, as EG are going to try and get support counter pick. And so that, I think because of that, that's why Nautilus is being taken off the table, is Nautilus actually isn't too hot into the champions that EG is showing at the moment, even though it pairs really well with Varus. And I think that they want to compete on that.
Cubby, I'm hearing right now officially that Evil Geniuses actually missed that ban. So maybe they're just a little tired. That was a long game, one. A lot for the players to have to worry about here.
Kinda,
so
you know, stretch out here, getting loose. They don't need a ban. They're fine after that last one. And actually, surprisingly to me, they're actually going to save the mid jungle flex. I think that says a lot about how EG plays as a team. Contracts and Jojopian really play well together and are one of the better mid jungle duos that we have. So they're going to blind their support instead of saving that for the counter pick and keep that Viego flex alive. As Alistar, a champion that Puma is very comfortable in, matches up very well into Leona. Going to be the easy choice from him, and we find out what the blind is for Tenacity. It's going to be Jace into the Kennen point.
It was one of those champions I was thinking EG wanted to ban away, so really hurting not having that ban at the end there. The range into the Kennen. Now, you're no longer punished by being a melee champion. You can actually punish the Kennen itself. Wait, what was that?
Malphite's... It'd be a wild flex here to like put Malphite top and Kennen mid, but Malphite's actually really good in this game, and instead Jojo Pion is going to flash the counter that he was showing in the first one. Gauntlet's thrown. It's set for the 16-year-old.
All right, let's go. First on the LeBlanc, now we get a Zed piloted by Jojo Pion. He's feeling himself right. He wants to redeem himself from getting caught out at the end of that last game because he was ready to carry Evil Geniuses to that victory. What a champion to try and run it back with now. It has been a long while since I've seen Zed in competitive.
He says, no distortions, that's fine. I'll take the shadows, as this is historically a good matchup for Zed. Curious if Jojo does opt for the TP, which it looks like he's going to be doing at the moment. Usually Zed takes Ignite for that kill threat. And this is tough for EG, because Zed early, it's ranged into melee, and also can be on Voldabear. That's a point-and-click stun that's really easy to try and control the Zed with. And so I really want to see how both teams set up around that mid-jungle duo, because Zed, of course, if he gets kills, can snowball the game very quickly, going lethality, having early item breakpoints with cheaper gold, and just spiking at that point of the game. If he doesn't, the pick's pretty useless. So I think that EG are going to put a lot of priority in the Jojo Pion, just like they did last game, except instead of feeding him the side lanes, I think Contracts is going to set up a tent mid. We're going to have to see how 100 Thieves deal with that.
Man, Jojo, Pion, and the rest of Evil Geniuses Academy right now, such a momentum-based team composition. Will be, like you said, very hard to come back if they get put behind early, especially given what 100 Thieves have drafted for themselves, because there are no slouches in the early game. Don't get us wrong by thinking, oh, Zed is going to be the difference maker to push EG over that line. Syndra, Volibear, Varus, and Jace, all known for their early game prowess here and their ability to blow people up as soon as level 6 hits. Evil Geniuses Academy will have to play a very safe game. Their playoff is not secured. They could still lose out and lose that playoff spot, have to compete in the UGP Proving Ground qualifiers. 100 Thieves, they're locked in. They're not going anywhere right now. And they're also still chasing that playoff bye spot. A lot on the line for both of these teams. And if this game's going to be anything even close, even half of the hype from last game, we're in for a treat. So talk to me about this early game, Cubby. Talk to me about what your expectations are for what the junglers are going to be focused on and where we should be putting our eyes first.
I think it's solo laners once again. That's not hard to say when it's Varus versus Ezreal in the marksman matchup, but I think it's going to be all about the setups around both mid and the top lane. And also 400 Thieves, when you have this Varus, early dragons become very important. So I want to see if they're able to get an advantage bot, whether that's in the 2v2, whether that's getting a TP advantage top for Tenacity, and then they're just threatening the fact that he can TP to respond to any play. I think that's going to be a couple things to look out for 400 Thieves. Is Envy is going for the full clear, and will be trying to impact the top lane. Contracts going to match. And overall, things should be somewhat quiet here, as we do see Jace versus Kennen. I did mention the Kennen buffs. That's an extra 30 base damage at rank 5 for the Q, and an extra 5% AP for the ratio. So that's why we're seeing a little bit more Kennen here.
Just a straight buff. You love those ones. No crazy math, no crazy numbers.
Yeah, no BS.
Crazy engaged bot side. Mystiques goes for the Zenith Blade, and Team Luke will try to trade back onto Poom and Luger. He come out slightly ahead.
Ezreal, very powerful level 1 with a Mystic Shot. Of course, you can spam that, and that will help, as Tenacity is building up what looks to be a slow push. We'll have to see how he manicures this wave, but does have more minions, and will be looking to try and crash this one to help out Envy at the next grab if he so needs to. Jojo Pion continues to take a lot for Asp. Nice sidestep there.
Yeah, dodging out on a lot of the damage from Ryoma there. And currently, Tony Top's actually winning these small trades against Tenacity. Took the Aerie for this matchup in particular. I actually do like this here for the Kennen. And Tenacity answering with Biscuits for himself. But boom, with an engaged bot side. Team Luke's pretty much out of mana. Lower on health, too. And Evil Geniuses, despite the fact that their top lane's doing all right in the trades, the mid-end bot, they could be doing better.
This is the expected start for Zed versus Syndra, but everything's A-okay, as I'm actually curious to see if they end up going for the contest on the top crab. It seems like Envy's there first.
Oh, nice setup from Poom there.
Okay.
Let's flash out of Mystiques. Yeah, I understand the idea, trying to get aggressive here. You gotta respect that Alistar.
That's a big loss for lane pressure, and now we can see the fact that they lose that pressure. It's going to be a double crab for Kenvi, and the only response for Contracts is to try and set up a dive on Tenacity, who does have
we
a
saw
big...
this fail twice
Yeah.
last game. Let's see if
that
they
was
can do
on
it this time
Aurelia.
around.
Yeah.
It's not Aurelia, it's Jace. Much less tools to try and survive these.
Well
and a
done.
successful dive under turret. First blood over to Tony Top.
Really good setup from EG, and that saves what was starting to evolve into a very disadvantageous early game for them, given the fact that Kenvi did get the double crab on the full clear. But that dive, it saves it for Tony Top. He's going to be ahead in this matchup, has a pretty big item advantage, and Tenacity, respecting that, has to opt for a little bit of defense, gets the Null Magic Mantle, not a tier. That stack will be late. The Vamp Scepter on the Eclipse will be late, and a nice first execute coming out from Contracts and Tony Top.
We can take another look at this one. Tenacity, you can kind of tell that he expects it to come here and does everything that he can to try and survive this one. Starts by trying to get some damage on Tony Top, trade it back again, but again, trades in the top lane here. Tony Top, he didn't opt for the Seeker's Arm Guard. We saw this matchup earlier today, and the Kennen went for the defensive build, but might be regretting that now. You do more damage, but susceptible to the gank. Kenvi's here, stunned under the turret. Tony Top taking a lot of burst damage. Kenvi tanking up. Not enough, though. Maybe Ryoma will be the deciding factor for the Thieves. Walks up here. Tenacity starts taking the turret here as Ryoma gets the kill. They actually juggle that turret aggro pretty well, and 100 Thieves successfully dive.
Really well played from 100 Thieves, as that was the one power point for EG on the map. They're able to turn it. But at great cost, as Jojo Pion gets a solo plate, they're going to lose the bot camps against EG. And now Team Luke, always going to have to get creative here.
Nah, he's Ezreal.
There's
no creativity in Ezreal, Cubby. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you have a real vendetta against that champion.
I hate this champ.
Angus just wants blood. Ezreal prevents that. I'm gonna.
He really does, yeah. It's also just the fact that he's like the least satisfying AD carry to play, in my opinion.
What?
It feels like you're just like throwing out water balloons at your opponent. Like it doesn't like Jhin. Oh, that's a satisfying champion. Draven, yeah. Even like Caitlyn, Tristana, all these like guns and rockets and blades and what does Ezreal even shoot out? Like what are his auto attacks?
I feel like this is like I'm like talking about like chess with someone, and it's like, oh, you just don't understand intricacies of this champion. One of the most difficult champs to play in League. That's fine, Kangas. We'll just have to go with your storyline, your narrative there. Jojo gonna eat a little bit of damage against Ryoma, but does get the freeze off. And this is a good lane state for Jojo Pion. As he can, in this lane state, he can threaten the all-in against Ryoma and threaten jungle pressure.
Yeah.
His Contracts.
He has that serrated Dirk, so a little bit of lethality, and Contracts is nearby too. Ryoma has to be careful, has the exhaust. Flash by Jojo Pion before the exhaust can go down. He's doing damage. Big trade. Oh, does not get the kill. Ooh, that was close.
Oh, 2 Ignite procs. I thought he had it, but Mystique's hovering scares off EG, and Jojo Pion burning both sums, as Ryoma does have to burn both sums to response, and Contracts doesn't see blood there. He's going to hover Tony Top as this wave will crash, but no plate falls over. And 100 Thieves continue to kind of sweat out this early game, sweat out the early pressure from the Zed, as no dragons have been taken or focused, and once again we're going to have a Rift Herald spawning instead. So a potential trade for both of these teams. And something I was looking for 100 Thieves was seeing them try and control this early dragon with the Bola Bear, the fact you have a Varus into an Ezreal bot. And it seems like they're about to catch up to that and take that for themselves, but Nasty's going to sack a lot for them to take this dragon as Contracts is hovering.
That will be a plate over to Tony Top, so a little bit more gold in the pocket here of Evil Geniuses. Although it is dead even right now, Ryoma. Good trades onto Jojo Pion. Does not have the unleashed power, but might not need it. One more ability. Jojo Pion gets out to safety, but Contracts go in again for a gank onto Tenacity. No flash. Actually, he does. He's going to hold it as long as he possibly can. There we go, flashing the ultimate. But a dive on the bot side. Team Luke goes down, Mystiques as well. Evil Geniuses do pull off the dive top, but not worth it as they lose 2 bot side for it.
That should be the dragon, especially considering that Jojo is so low and kind of dancing with fire, needs to catch XP. Feels like he needs to catch XP to stay ahead, but doesn't have the ultimate, doesn't have the shadows to try and outplay Ryoma. We'll just
wants to clear the wave.
Yeah, we'll just cast his abilities on the wave, but a plate going over to Ryoma. 2 plates going over bot to Luger. Now the dragon for 100 Thieves Academy. Tenacity is set far behind, but I feel like across the map, 100 Thieves are A-okay with that trade as they trade up across the rift. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Oh, okay.
Oh, Hex Flash just came off cooldown, so that's, yeah, that's a bummer for Mystiques.
That is so sad. JoJo's still really low health. You got to watch out for Ryoma here. Even Kenvi can look for it, but he has the ultimate, so they're just committing to the damage.
What?
Yeah, you're always going to die there, Jojo Pyun. I don't know if that was worth it. Onto Kenvi, onto the tank. Now Tony Top in trouble. Massive killing spree over to Luger. Tenacity also takes on Tony Top, and Contract's running for the hills. Oh, Evil Geniuses getting real sloppy with it right now, and 100 Thieves will punish them for it. Luger still hunting for Contracts right now. He knows that he's low. Throws out the blind arrow. Hail of arrows. Contract's still alive. Don't go for this, Contracts. Please tell me you're not. Okay, good. Woo! He's back under turret, and he is safe. Wait, is he? Look at Mystique's. The cow's chasing him down up top side.
He's okay.
All right.
Things can't get as crazy as the last game, right? As 100 Thieves, in some of the chaos, have actually put together a rather nice early game. As they took the first 2 monster objectives, they pulled off a really effective dive bottom utilizing Volibear, and now took the first Rift Herald. As this is
what is JoJo doing here?
This is somewhat a comedy of errors. Yeah,
you're not going to get a kill.
EG.
Oh, rough stuff here. As yeah, I mean, like, even if the Syndra's not there, Volibear literally just Qs you, and you're dead, so...
Yeah, so I think what he was trying to do was land the Shadow and then instantly port back, but because Kenvi got the point-and-click stun, was not able to make that happen, and it ended up looking pretty ugly, as Mystique's going to get chunked out. 100 Thieves looking to utilize this Rift Herald to take the first brick, but it seems like Kenvi getting a little bit cold feet. EG are here to respond. We'll reset.
Contracts as well, so... 100 Thieves not going to pull the trigger on that one. Kenvi just takes the enhanced recall, gets back to base. Does not have that mythic item yet, but we do actually see the Umbral Glaive first for Luger. I kind of like this tech. I have been seeing this a little bit in my solo queue games where Lethality Varus wants this. Helps you just get a quicker power spike. You no longer have the mobility anyway from Prowler's Claw, so you might as well just go for something that gives a little more utility, a little more vision control for the team.
You still have some mobility with Prowler's Claw. We've seen Raze doing some fancy things with Draven on the LCS stage on the last patch. Kind of curious to see if we see any Draven. It is mostly response into Kalista and Ziggs. They have a pretty weak early laning phase. None of those. All those champions have been members of the ban list on our first day of the new patch here between Academy and LCS. So curious to see how the meta evolves from here. And curious to see if Jojo Pyun on the Zed can start to pick back up. Seems to be the point of a lot of attacks coming out from EG, as they're going to deny.
Top.
Yeah, they're going to deny even more waves from him. But once again, I think 100 Thieves A-OK, trading up on the map, getting gold onto Luger. Tenacity. He's weak side this game. He got to play a rally. He got to have fun in the last one, but you got to give some things up for your team. You can't play a rally every game.
Exactly. And also doing a pretty decent job of it. I'm not going to lie. Not too far behind in CS. Yeah. Still tied in KDA with your lane opponent. For a weak side top laner, yeah, things are going just peachy for Tenacity here, because the rest of his team so fed. 3-0-1 on this Varus, 2-0-1 on this Syndra. We talked about the combo of those two in particular, and it will be scary. Let's see if the Rift Herald gets a second charge. Oh, it's winding up for it. I think it's going to. There we go. Nicely done. 100 Thieves getting a lot of value out of that.
Of course, those inner turrets having more gold now. Rather nice, as can be. Finally goes to Tenacity's aid. Tenacity pretty happy about that one, as he was playing some cookie clicker under the brush under his inner turrets here. Nothing else to do, as that's okay. When you alt tab, you see your team winning, you're A-OK with that, and he is helping his team maintain a 3k gold lead just by not sacking too much on the bot side, keeping himself alive on the Jace, and it should be easy dragons for 100 Thieves now, given their lead and given the champions that they have, of course. Jace, Syndra, Varus, so they get bot lane control. Pretty deadly. Oh my!
Contracts flashing onto Luger. Really well done by Evil Geniuses, but now they got to worry about Kenvi and watch out for Poom. This Alistar could look to dive underneath the turret. Contracts and Tony Top are playing defensively. Kenvi flashing forward, gets onto him. Massive damage, shut down the turret as well. That's going to be 2 kills picked up by the Thieves.
Beautifully played by 100 Thieves, as first off, that window from Contracts, that's one of the reasons that we're so high on him in Academy and why he's getting that LCS spot, as down a member. He still found the window on Luger, burning flash to pick up that kill, but 100 Thieves, that not going to get away with that for free. Good response from them, utilizing Alistar, Volibear, the 2 Bash brothers under the turret, pretty much making that turret irrelevant between both of their ultimates, as Objectives are traded across the map. Jojo Pion gets some gold for himself. Ryoma going to respond as well, and 100 Thieves continue to trade up.
Ryoma flashing us a little icon right there. Picking up a lot of gold for the Syndra, now 3-0 and 2. And yeah, that was a shutdown over to Evil Geniuses, but yeah, 100 Thieves not letting them get away with that one for free. And now, last game it was Evil Geniuses with the lead for pretty much the entire game. They were down dragons, but they were up gold. That was the big trade. But this time around, 100 Thieves up gold, and they also are up the dragons themselves. The next one's on the map. It is the Mountain Dragon, which means we'll get an Infernal or a Cloud Soul. One of those worth a lot more than the other for these teams, but still, 100 Thieves, they have control of the game currently and control of the series. One more win here means that they are holding on to that second place spot above Team Liquid. Going into playoffs, they still fighting for that playoff bye. It won't be over after this. Even if they win here, they do still need to win at least one more game tomorrow. But a win would make them feel much better as they do finally start up the Dragon.
Ooh, Contracts are trying to lay a trap on Ryoma, but it's cold feet. We'll just go for the blue buff instead. 100 Thieves are getting the Dragon. Continue to stack up Soul, take the necessary steps with their composition that's going to spike very hard very soon here, Kangas. Is Luger and Ryoma very powerful on the map, given their kills and given the champions that they're piloting this game. So those wide-eyed spikes will be difficult for EG to deal with.
Ooh, Tony Top getting good damage on the Kenby.
That's the Kennen buffs right there, baby.
Yeah, true. And also the dive onto the bot side here, rather top lane. Ryoma shut down by Jojo Pion. The Zed actually working out right now, but Poom is here.
They want a TP.
And look at the teleports coming in. 100 Thieves are going to collapse onto this Poom. Can lock down two members quite easily, but Jojo's back over the wall. Contracts, he's out. Poom trying to chase him down, but the Solar Flare Mystiques keeping Contracts alive. Well done for the Geniuses, but can be 1v1 in Team Luke, and he gets it. That's a scary bear. And Kenby with the 1v1.
Oh, Team Luke, he died with Flash Up, but didn't want to burn it because Kenby still had access to his ultimate. Don't really know how that play ended up panning out, but Kenby continues to snowball his team. And a theme that we've seen out of Kenby in Academy, Kangas, is that once this guy gets the lead, he does not let go. And we teased out how hype this jungle matchup is between him and Contracts. And this game, it really feels like Kenby, with the setups, with the support he's had from Poom and Ryoma, is getting the best of Contracts and EG with his movements on this Build-A-Bear.
Also picks up the Rift Herald here. Very objective focused. That's multiple Heralds. That's multiple Dragons. A solo kill on an enemy AD carry. Kenby's doing it all on this bear. 1-0 and 7. And it's 9-4 on the scoreboard overall. 100 Thieves do have a lead in this game. And they're only looking to make it bigger right now. If we're looking at this from Evil Genius' side, Cubby, what are their options at this point into the game? Because, I mean, I guess you could argue that they do have a little bit of scaling with that Ezreal, but the idea felt like it was played through this Zed.
I think they're waiting for Sorelda's on Zed, and also they're just playing towards this lane as Contracts and Jojo Pion. We've seen them grouped up. It's the same game plan, different game, same game plan for EG compared to the last one, Kangas. It's hover and funnel Jojo Pion on this assassin. He's going to be the game changer. As you can see, they're sacking a lot to try and get him gold, as the inner turret does fall for Jojo solo, but 100 Thieves trying to respond with 2 turrets of their own.
And I think that EG, they might have the defense, though, because Contracts is here on the flank. He's threatening 100 Thieves back, so Herald will get a charge, but that's it. Teleport in from Tony Top. He's looking for the flank. Dodges out on Luger's ultimate. Gets flash out of the AD carry as well, but he might just sacrifice himself for it. Contracts looking to trade onto Luger, but Ryoma is here. Tony Top still alive. He's running away right into Tenacity. Oh, no! Jojo Pion does take down Kenby, but so is Contracts traded. Poom in some trouble here. Jojo Pion does get the fadeaway kill with the ultimate, a double to the Zed. But Luger's still alive. Ryoma's still alive. They don't have a front line. Flash engaged by Mystiques. They take down Luger. Ryoma, he's got backup from Tenacity, and the Thieves are doing it. Winning the team fight through damage alone. A double kill to Ryoma and an ace to the Thieves.
That was a tricky situation with 100 Thieves because EG, they were the ones grouped. They were the ones that could isolate members and take the fight one by one, as they piloted that fight early very well, playing from behind, but the re-engage, the overextension, it proves too much as Tenacity brings the hammer down with Syndra, and they end up taking the fight for themselves in the end.
And the fact that Luger survived all the way to the end, absolutely insane, because watch what Luger has to deal with. Flash away from the cannon, didn't actually need to flash there, but then he doesn't die to contracts here.
And Ryoma just came in at the perfect time. And we also see Poom, really good Alistar play in this fight. Headbutts Kennen away, and then watch this alley-oop of contracts to Ryoma. That's what we call teamwork right there, as he knocks him into the scatter of the week. And from here, this is where things get a little bit dicey for the Thieves, because they're split 2v1. Varus doesn't have ultimate. And Mystiques makes the right call. They know they can't take much more poke. They go for the play, but Jojo Pyong gets shut down by the exhaust. And speaking of Jojo Pyong getting shut down.
Already another fight, and he's dead. Jojo Pyong taken out at the start of the play. 30 seconds till Dragon, and that's his death timer with no TP. He did actually take Ignite on this Zed before they loaded into the game, so he's not going to be able to catch up here. And under the turret, the dive, Team Luke goes down 200 Thieves just getting kill after kill.
Can be wrapped around Team Luke and landed the stun instantly as the Bear. That's the second kill that we've seen the Bear create on an Ezreal and 100 Thieves. They don't care about the Dragon. They have members in the mid lane. They want this mid inhibitor turret. Will knock it down, will leave an inhibitor, and then snowball to the Dragon from there. As Contracts is retreating in a bit of an awkward spot.
Oh, Contracts in a 1v2. Tenacity just does so much damage. Man, Evil Geniuses are just falling apart right now. They're getting picked left and right, not grouping up in the right places. And 100 Thieves are just going to keep punishing them for it if they keep giving them these opportunities.
And these are the Thieves that we wanted to see somewhat return to Academy, the team that was so dominant in the first half of the split. I know, talking with Poom before this series, he recognized the fact that, you know what, some of the teams caught up. We haven't been as good the last couple patches, but we really feel like things are coming together in time for us, in time for playoffs. And that's exactly what the Thieves are putting together here. And it was a hectic first game that could have went either way. 100 Thieves are definitely stepping up in the second.
Oh, Ryoma.
All right, that's a bummer.
He's got Tenacity behind him. Does Contracts realize? Oh, it's actually Mystiques right here.
Oh, this is cute.
Jojo Pyong looking for it. The stun coming in, and that's a lot of burst damage. Nice shutdown for Jojo Pyong. Kenby's here, looking to turn the play. Tenacity with range from downtown. Poom wrapping around through the river, and that's Mystiques traded. I don't know if Jojo gets out of here. He does have Flash. He does jump away with the Shadow first. Saves the Flash. Jojo Pyong's out. So trade of Ryoma for Mystiques. Not bad for Evil Geniuses.
Contracts looking to set up with Jojo. This is the combo for EG. It's Viego plus Zed. Get the first kill, get resets, go from there.
Jojo Pyong's here. He's looking to get damage on Kenby, but Tenacity backing up Kenby. Trades damage onto Jojo Pyong. Now Contracts all alone here in the river. Tony Top looking to join in, though. They got Luger. They're locking down the AD carry, and he's dead. Poom as well. Big double kill over to Tony Top. And Tenacity's all alone now. 100 Thieves. They thought that they had the better positioning, but they absolutely did not. Tenacity attempts to trade onto Team Luke, but a big shutdown. That's going to be Baron.
I don't know if they can push for the Baron because Ryoma and Kenby are here, and Ryoma's really fed on the Syndra. The magic damage debuff is something that EG is going to have to deal with. This is close.
Mystique sees it, locks down Ryoma, flash away by the Syndra. Follow-up, scatter the weak, unleash power, that's a kill! Ryoma outplaying Evil Geniuses, and Kenby's untouched. He's so tanky on this Volibear right now. He's bought the space, 100 Thieves in the 2v5. They've stopped the Baron take, and the scatter the weak again. Oh no, Team Luke's dead! Ryoma is too good, too clean on this Syndra.
That was an EQ from Ryoma, and Team Luke wasn't able to see it. Dies with flash up, and I teased the fact that even in the 2v5, things would have been tricky for EG there with how far ahead Ryoma is. 100 Thieves can beat Ryoma. They save it was a little bit of yakety sacks from them, turn it back in their favor, and this should be their Baron.
It's going down. Contracts is here. But how is he going to try and get into that pit? Jojo Pyong's dead. Tenacity's over the wall. Contracts is dead. That's Baron over to 100 Thieves. And Evil Geniuses, they found a way back into the game. A short window, but it was slammed shut by Kenby and Ryoma. And now Tony Top. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you here? You gotta run.
How are you?
Run into a cow. Got nowhere to go. Kenby picking up the kill and a killing spree.
I love watching Poom headbutt Kennen, like, into his friends. Like,
that's
just sending them right into the team, as Poom's Alistar was the counterpick to Leona. And 100 Thieves, despite Some nice mid-game setups from EG. Yes, 100 Thieves were dropping the ball, but Contracts and JoJo understanding what they have.
Done.
Oh, boy. Oh, God.
I think with that pick, Team Luke's dead. Tony
Holy
Top still 17
smokes.
seconds. 100 Thieves with the Baron. They might just be able to end this game. Evil Geniuses, again, just getting these isolated deaths over and over again. And 100 Thieves taking full advantage of it. They don't have the Volibear ultimate, but they do have Alistair. They could look to dive the turrets with that. They have another wave coming in here too, plus the mid lane. That's inhibitor down. Mystique's flashing forward, looking for the engage, trying to get onto Luger, but there's no follow-up, and it was Ryoma the whole time. Tony Top gets a nice ultimate, but it's just a consolation prize, because 100 Thieves are so far ahead. They will take the team fight. Jojo Pyun on the Zed looked pretty flashy, but did not pull out the win. We'll watch as his base is destroyed. Team Luke goes down as soon as he spawns. That's game. That's the 2-0 to 100 Thieves. They are still looking for that playoff bye, and they will take the 2-0.
They're looking for Jojo Pyun as well, as he's going to live on the base. But 100 Thieves, what was a fun game one, a bit of a... It was a bar fight, as I've said probably too many times by now, but 100 Thieves, they turned that, they pieced together a nice game too, and that's important that they keep their standings against TL, because that one-game lead, they do not have the tiebreaker against Team Liquid. Team Liquid, 3-1 record against 100 Thieves throughout the regular season. So 100 Thieves have to keep that one-game advantage to maintain the fact they can get a bye, and with a 2-0 tomorrow, they would guarantee the fact they secure a bye, as the standings keep on heating up, and EG... a tough 0-2 for them today. It's going to be tricky for them. They might need a little bit of help from the rest of the league to ensure that they get into the Academy playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for Team Liquid to try and get that bye from this point forward. They got to win out, and they got to hope that 100 Thieves lose. But yeah, these plays, these replays, boom, very impressive on the Alistair. Ryoma on the Syndra, Luger on the Varus. They did it. They said, this is how you play the combo. This is how you play the AD carry, and this is why it pairs so well with Ryoma. This was the play, though, that Evil Genius is. Like, watch Tony Top. There's nobody defending Luger. This was EG's way back into the game.
It was a really good setup from Contracts and Tony Top, and I mean, part of the reason this was so hectic and went in EG's favor is because they set it up, and they recognized that, hey, we're down quite a bit. We have this assassin with Viego. Let's just group them up, try and find an angle, and make something crazy happen. They ended up making it happen, but going for that Baron too early against Ryoma's Syndra, who was so far ahead. I think if they base, they reset, they try and get some map control before that fourth dragon spawned, I think that was the right choice for EG. Instead, they go for the Baron, and they get punished. And what a performance from Kenvi on this Volibear in this game as well, King, is going up against Contracts, who I was pitching as... and still pitches the strongest player that we have in Academy. Kenvi put together a great game two up against one of the best or the best player that I think we have in Academy in Contracts. And hey, that Swan song a little bit sadder. His Contracts will have his last Academy games tomorrow as he moves up to LCS for the rest of playoffs and the rest of the season.
Fun games, exciting end here. Evil Genius is not able to clutch it out though. The Zed was fun. It was fun to watch, but it just didn't do what we were expecting. They were trying to play into the side lane. And yeah, 100 Thieves just better on the day. They're coming back into form here because I was concerned 75% of their losses in the summer split happened in the second half within the last 4 weeks. But now, 2-0, turning their favors around. They're back to even. They, I believe, are now a 9-9 in their wins and losses in the second half of the split. There's a chance that they can end on a positive note here and still keep that playoff bye alive. And yeah, I mean, despite the craziness of game number one, they recovered. Game two, it honestly didn't feel like there were many times where they weren't in control of that game. And we do actually get a chance to chat with Kenvi. 100 Thieves is a jungler here for our Verizon post-game interview. Whenever they're ready, they're still trying to get him into the call. So it'll be fun. We got to talk to him about that Volibear pick. We got to talk to him about the crazy game number one, the back and forth.
That's all I want to talk about, man. That game one was nuts. I want to kind of hear what he was feeling in that one. And while we do have a little bit of time, kind of implicating how close the standings are, if you are a fan of Academy and want to tune in tomorrow, it is the last day. And this is how close things are. It's a 4-horse race for 3 spots. EG and C9 are both at 18 and 16. Immortals and TSM both at 17 and 17. So only one of those teams will not make playoffs. And that is the race that we're going to have decided tomorrow, as I think most importantly, C9 and TSM have the most control over their own destiny as they play each other. And so
all TSM needs to do is 2-0.
A 2-0 from a 2-0 from either team would guarantee their spot in Academy and most likely knock down the other team on the pedestal. But
because C9's against TSM, they only need 1 win actually. If they get a single win, then there's no way TSM catches them.
Yeah. Oh no, you're right. Yeah. So
because they would be at 19 and TSM would be at 18. So yeah, all Cloud9 needs to do is get 1 win and they're in.
As you can tell, we're still trying to figure out all the scenarios, and
there's a lot.
there is a lot. Of course, everyone playing the best of twos, and curious to see how everything pans out tomorrow as we get our Academy playoff standings decided. Decide the 6 teams that are competing as TSM, EG, C9 Immortals still in that race. But I'm going to talk more about the race for the bye as we now have Kenvi joining us for the Verizon postgame interview.
Kenvi, what a series, what a game. Also, what room are you in right now? Is this like the 100 Thieves, like, break room, bathroom? There's a lot of tile going on back there.
I mean podcast room.
Oh, the podcast room. Very nice over there in your facilities. And Kenvi, I want to start things off with you with the beginning, as game 1 was crazy. One of the crazier games that we've seen on the Academy stream all year. For you, what was the big difference in that game that you felt helped your team come out on top? And what was it like going from that post game into game 2? Like, what did you guys do to kind of recover and talk about what you needed to plan better in game 2 to have a little bit of a cleaner game?
Just have to play the game slow and steady, and probably like we can outscale them and play for objectives and slowly win the game. Just play smarter.
And in particular, doubling up on Cubby's second part of the question, that was a long game. I was tired casting at the end. I can only imagine what it would have been like to play it. What does the team do after a game like that to try and mentally reset for a game 2?
Probably just listen to some music and watch like your own replay and like watch your own mistake and just to counter that mistake next game and play better on next game.
Well, you guys did exactly that, as that game 2 was very clean off the back of your Voldabear play as well. And going up against Contracts, one of the best junglers that we have in Academy. What's it like going up against Contracts, and how do you feel your play is when you have a champion like Voldabear?
Playing against Contracts is it's great experience against him because he's been like doing well in LCS too, and Voldabear is like one of the most champion that so strong right now, and yeah, I just win early game. Just try to and take advantage early game and win the game.
Plus, you get to take it away from Tenacity, so that's probably fun. He's always excited to play that one. But you're like, no, it's mine this time. You mentioned that you listen to music between games. I'm a huge music head, and I'm sure that everybody watching on Twitch chat right now is going to love to hear what music do you listen to? What's your go-to amp up song before a game, Kenvi?
It's like or like random old songs like that, like top songs before like 2009 something. It's like just autoplay songs. Like it's pretty good.
We got to get a playlist then from Kenvi.
Yeah, you got to drop your playlist on Twitter because I got to listen to that before my solo queue games. I got to get the Kenvi amp up music for myself to get me in that right mindset.
And Kenvi, I know we're running out of time, but before we let you go, I just want to open the floor to you. Are there any thank yous or shout outs you'd like to give to any fans of you or 100 Thieves before we wrap up?
Yeah, thank you for like supporting me for till this time, and I will try my best to improve more for Proving Grounds and play better Proving Grounds.
All right. Love to hear it. We'll take that. We'll take your word for it, Kenvi. But congratulations on the 2-0 and best of luck going into tomorrow. All you need is a game against Dignitas, and you lock in that top 2 and that bye going into playoffs. So best of luck preparing.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, what a gamer, what a game. Kenvi coming in here. I mean, no ego on that guy. Wow. Like I after a performance like that, I would have expected him to come a little hotter, be like, yeah, I just smacked contracts, but no, very respectful. He's always great to play against contracts. Yeah. It's great to have that kind of mentality in a jungler.
No, it's fun to hear, and Kenvy's definitely a prospect that a lot of people are looking at for his play. And nice to kind of hear that attitude on him as well. You know, going up against contracts, that's a tough opponent, and recognize the fact he's been doing really well in the LCS stage, and Kenvy got the best of him today. But going up against contracts, it's always a tough task, and not many junglers get the best of him. So props to Kenvy on a heck of a performance between both games, especially game 2 on that fold-up air. And I'm just excited for the race tomorrow. I do want to make one correction. 100 Thieves need to win both games tomorrow to ensure that there's no way that TL can come back, as TL do own the tiebreaker over 100 Thieves. So if they went 2-0 and 100 Thieves went 1-1, that would be a TL bye. But
all right,
we have an interesting race, and
hopefully Kenvy heard you say that and doesn't just like in game 2 now because he thinks that they have it secured.
I'm sure that Golden Glue's got that figured out for the guys backstage. But man, if you're an Academy fan or just a fan of Good League, we're gonna have some good series tomorrow, as that 4-horse race for 3 spots is going to be very tricky. And of course, we will be broadcasting games on /Academy and /Nerd Street LOL starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific again tomorrow.
Yeah, and that first one, TSM versus Cloud9, that is going to be insane, the implications for that one. So make sure that you're tuning in at the beginning of the day. Speaking of which, same place, same time here at the Academy channel. Make sure that you're following the channel. Also, make sure you follow twitch.tv/NerdStreetLOL, because they are also streaming the secondary stream. Cubby and I will be on that stream tomorrow, and we'll actually get, I believe, Rafa and Smacks. What was it? Rax City? Was that their caster name?
Yeah, we'll have to see if they want to do the Hull Breaker bet again. I know Tony Top said the Hull Breaker was good on Fiora. Kind of bummed I didn't see it, but we're getting a side bet going for the first time we see that item in competitive, as it has been terrorizing all my solo queue games.
I actually haven't seen it yet, but
it makes the top laner really strong in the 1v1 and the minions. It's pretty tough, but. That said, that's it for me, Kings. That was a heck of a second series, and if you guys did miss Game 1 and are still with us, first off, thanks for tuning in and supporting Academy, but also go back and watch that Game 1, 100 Thieves EG, because that was nuts. Yeah.
That was an insane game, and I thought my voice was going to blow out for it, so I'm going to probably not talk for the rest of the night now, because we got more Academy games tomorrow. Again, same place, same time. That's it for today's broadcast. Make sure that you're tuning in tomorrow, and we'll see you all then. Have a good one, guys.